Hello, everyone. Today is episode 2 of Horror Map Critics. Basically, if you didn't see episode 1, this series is going to break down a lot of, hopefully every, Fortnite UEFN creative horror map that is uploaded so far and will ever be uploaded. So that way you guys can have the best information on which maps are pretty good and which maps are like you shouldn't even go near or support. Today we will be breaking down the aspects of the horror map Megladon. The Megladon, to be specific. To start off, we got the graphics. Graphics are 10 out of 10. Cannot believe it is Fortnite. The graphics have gone really far since the introduction of UEFN, and it is crazy to see how games like these exist in a game that never looked like this when it first came out. We also have a somewhat bias from me, as it is themed around submarines, underwater exploration, and sharks. It's pretty cool. I like boats, shipwrecks, underwater exploration. It's all like my kind of thing. I like shipwrecks. The underwater was pretty cool. Pretty realistic too. Next up, we got to the story. The story is a 4 out of 10. It's pretty basic. It's just avoid big shark while exploring and trying to escape big shark. Although, like, half the horror maps are essentially like this story is kind of I really was sort of confused on the rating of the story, because, like, I wasn't even, like, paying attention half the time. But, like, it starts off in, like, 1986 or something like that, in the beginning, where, like, the boat gets tipped by the Megladon, and then you get eaten by the Megladon, and then I guess, like, 40 years later, you gotta explore the shipwreck, just to, like, research the Megladon. That's practically the story. I guess I should have said the gameplay is more or less avoid big shark while exploring, but that's pretty much the story too. Next up, we got the horror elements. Horror elements, in my opinion, are a 5 out of 10. Pretty mid. Mainly affected the phobias, as you could probably see in the beginning where it says warning. Basically, it mainly goes after the phobias of thalassophobia, megalophobia, and claustrophobia, in which I do not have any of them, so I was not having a mental breakdown in the corner of my room because I was in a submarine, or I saw a shark, or there was, like, deep water, or, like, large spaces. The horror elements are also pretty cheap when it comes to, like, jump scares. It's just jump scares and loud noises. Mainly sharks. There was a pipe break that did startle me because I wasn't facing... I don't know, it scared me. My poor little heart aches since I played this map. But really cheap horror elements, 5 out of 10, mid. Next up, we got the miscellaneous section. I like the use of the skill checks, pretty unique, using them to fix the generators and any other tasks in the game, instead of just, like, interacting with it for, like, 2 seconds. Pretty good to keep, I guess, the player engaged with the gameplay, and to, I guess, keep them motivated. I don't know, I like skill checks, because I played maps with them, and it's all pretty enjoyable. It also defied the laws of physics with the pressure. Basically, you somehow wander around perfectly fine during, like, when you're at, like, under 2,000 feet of water. That's, like, scientifically impossible, because at that pressure, the human body would explode. And if you don't believe me, look it up. Prove me wrong. I really don't care. I'm just, like... I know it's not possible, because, like, think of Ocean Gate. Their submarine was, like, terrible, and, like, once it reached, like, 1,000 feet or two, it just... But that's also why we have submarines built like the way they are. It's to withstand that pressure and keep the humans inside of them safe, hence why submarines are just like weird metally things. Choosing the own ending was pretty cool, and what I mean by that is, like, you got to choose what ending, instead of, like, having to do a specific thing, or, like, if you fail an objective. It was just, like, giving you 2 buttons. It was, like, good or bad ending, and in order to actually beat the game, you have to play both endings out. And basically what you would do is play one ending, and then I guess it would give you the option saying, you got this ending, play other ending, and then it was like it was like a giant button at the bottom that said play other ending. And then you would play that ending, and then you would beat the game after you went through both endings. Has a shop for, like, jump scare remotes and energy drinks. I don't know what the energy drinks are, because I'm not supporting that, because it's kind of stupid. And the jump scare remote, I know what it does. It just jump scares you with a remote when you trigger it. Don't buy it. Don't support that. It's kind of stupid, because it's like, you're going to buy something from a map that you'll only ever play like once. And that's kind of stupid. Like, unless if you're going to be like, hey everybody, let's play the Megladon for 8 hours straight today. Don't buy the remote. It's kind of a waste of money. Don't spend money on UEFN maps in general. Like, I mean that in the nicest way possible. It's like the biggest scam of all time. Because, like, some of the people are scams. That's a whole other issue, though. Really great attention to detail, but specifically on the submarine flooding section. It's pretty cool. The submarine like would slowly flood over time if you wouldn't fix the holes fast enough, and of course because I did that in time, I don't know what exactly happened, but my guess is that the submarine would fill up and you would just drown and probably have to restart from the last checkpoint, or like I guess the game would end and it'd be like you have to restart the entire thing over again. That's really all I have. I would rate this map 3 out of 5 scares. Pretty mid map. It's a cool map for people if you like sharks, submarines, and underwater exploration, boats, shipwrecks. Pretty cool stuff. I like underwater exploration. I like sharks. I like submarines. It's pretty enjoyable, but also pretty scary. If you don't like that kind of stuff, don't play it. Because then you would probably like waste some of your time if you were to play it and you realize, oh, I don't like this map. It has aspects of the stuff that I don't like. And it's not on me that you played this map after I said don't play it when you don't like that kind of stuff. So yeah, all in all, pretty mid map. Go play it if you want. The code is up top on the screen. Otherwise, you could just like look up the Megladon in the search bar. That is really all I have about episode 2 of the Horror Map Critics series. I will be updating this series. I was hoping to get whatever, I don't know, man. But that's about it. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Peace out. No, I'm still pussy. I'm pussy. I don't care. I'm a pussy.